His mashal is that during World War One there was a poor shoemaker. He went out, goes into the field, and he davens and says, Ribono Shel Olam, you think I'm davening for myself? I'm davening for my family, the continuity of Klal Yisrael, for everything that's going on over here. And he lets out like this really heartfelt tefillah, and then he lays down and he sort of passes out, like he runs out of kaichas. As he's sleeping, he gets like awakened by this aroma, something that smells really, really nice. He opens his eyes and there's this like very interesting rose that's laying next to him. And he realizes that there's a fragrance that's coming from this rose that had grown in the forest, and he smelled it and it was giving him like a certain chiyas, like a certain life. So he smells the rose more and he gets some more life, and he smells it some more and he gets some more life, until he feels like fully invigorated. And he decides he's going to take this rose and go back to his cabin, his little house, and he's going to awaken his wife and his children and give them the life that he's breathing out of this rose. As he starts walking back to this cabin, he comes to the road, and a carriage comes flying up with a nobleman inside. And he sees this man walking with this beautiful rose. And this nobleman opens the door and he says to him, "Hey, you poor guy walking with this rose, I'll buy that rose off of you for anything. Name your price, I'll give you money." And he sells him the rose for a few loaves of bread, comes home, gives it to his family, and his children are able to eat. That night he has a dream. And in the dream his father comes to him, and his father says to him, "My son, you don't realize what's going on here in Shemayim. Here in Shemayim, your tefillah that you gave, that you're davening for Klal Yisrael and your family and everything, it started like really stirring in Shemayim like a huge tumult. And one of the malachim was advocating for you, and another one. Finally, like you pushed everything over the mountain." And Hashem said, "Okay, we're going to give this man a special rose. And this rose is going to be the rose of Tchias HaMesim." He says, "And then you started walking home. And you were going to start with your own family. Great. And then you'd realize the power that you hold in your hands, and you go from your family to the next family, to your village, and you would get on a boat. You would literally be the catalyst that brought about Mashiach." And then there was a malach that stepped forward. And the malach says, "Gave this man such an important, powerful rose, the rose of Tchias HaMesim. Let's see how much he's machshev this rose, how much he holds on to this rose." And Hashem allowed this malach to come and to test you, and to see if you realized what you had in your hand. And that malach was the man who was in the stagecoach, and he pulls up and he says to you, "I'll buy that rose off of you for anything you want." And you fool. You sold the rose for 2 pieces of bread. And yeah, your family is able to survive for another few days. But do you realize what you just gave away? You literally gave away the key, the ticket, to Tchias HaMesim and to Mashiach coming. You literally just handed it back to the Satan. And this man woke up and he was totally broken. I feel bad for this guy, right? Like, he had something so powerful in his hands, and he gave it up. But what about us? We are all gifted with a chelek elikam imal. We're all gifted with a neshama. And that neshama could be the neshama of Tchias HaMesim. That neshama could be the neshama that throws Klal Yisrael over the edge. That neshama could be the neshama that brings about the geula. And we know what we have. We know what we have. We have within inside of us a nuclear energy. And that energy, when it's channeled correctly, the potential that it has to accomplish and impact the world is just unbelievable. And oy to the person that one day they say to him, "What did you sell it for?"